Hey everyone, I'm Quinye and this is Quinbius. And I gotta say, people have to realize that back in like the early 2000s when reality TV first take off, you gotta realize people just did not care. They did not care. They were doing any and everything to get ratings. And I'm not saying that it was right, but at the time, people just did not care. They did not care about your feelings. They did not care about what image you wanted to present. It's like the producers and the network executives had this this one specific unrealistic image that everybody should follow. It doesn't matter the image you want for yourself. All that matters is the image that the network executives and the producers wanted for the person that they hired. And I gotta say, yes, I think Tyra Banks needs to be accountable for what she did. But at the same time, she's not the only one that was a part of the show. Everybody else, from the judges to the producers, from the network executives, all need to be held accountable too. Not just Tyra Banks. And yes, even though she was the producer and the creator of America's Next Top Model, she's not the only one that was a part of the team. And I and while I'm not saying that she shouldn't be held accountable, she should. Everybody else should be held accountable too. And we also got to look at this from the bigger picture that no, it's not right, but it was what it was then. Because back then, people were just doing any and everything to get ratings. If it's going to put eyeballs on the screen, then they were going to go for it. They were going to go for it. They didn't care. They weren't concerned with feelings. They weren't concerned with what you wanted to do and how you wanted to present yourself. It was about how they wanted to present you because it was getting eyes glued to the screen. And all I'm saying is that Tyra Banks should not be the only person to be held accountable for what happened. And I truly do believe that yes, while you are an executive producer of a show and you create a particular show, you only have but so much power because you got to realize you still got to deal with the network executives. And all they concerned with, to be honest and to keep it real, all that they concerned about is ratings. All they concerned about is what's going to get us the highest ratings. And if having somebody close up their gap teeth or whatever is going to improve ratings, I guess, in their mind, and they're going to be like, yep, we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. And that's just that. But I do think everybody from the judges to the production team to the network executives should all be held accountable. They should. Tyra Banks should not be getting all the blame for this. Yes, she was the executive producer. Yes, she created the show. Yes, she was the face of the show. But she wasn't the only one a part of the show. Everybody else had a hand in it. They really, really did. They had a hand in it. And on one hand, I'm glad that we're finally seeing the error of our ways But at the same time, people just didn't care back then. And to be quite honest with you, they just did not care, and they were so fixated on one unrealistic image that they wanted everybody to follow. And as long as it brought in the ratings and the money, they just didn't care. They just didn't care. They were not getting paid to care. They were getting paid to run a show that's gonna revenate ratings and income and money. That's all. That's sorry. I don't know what happened, but just ignore that. But anyways, that's all they cared about. That's all they cared about was ratings. That's all. All they cared about was the ratings and the money. That's it. So again, I think that the whole production team of America's Next Top Model should be held accountable. The judges should be held accountable, not just Tyra Banks. Just because she was the face of the show, the creator, the executive producer, does not mean she should get all the blame. She really shouldn't. She's not the only person on the show. There was a whole panel of judges, a whole production team, the network executives. They all should be held accountable. Each and every last one of them. And we also got to keep in mind that, okay, back then people just didn't care. They didn't care. They were doing any and everything for ratings. And if you fitted one unrealistic image, they want to go for it. They're going to go for it. They were going to go for it because keep in mind, we had shows like, still got shows like Survivor. You had The Real Housewives. You have Fear Factor, where they were just doing any and all crazy things for ratings. They were just doing crazy things. And because they had eyes on TVs, eyes glued to the screen, they were just pushing it out, pushing that out, pushing that out, pushing that out, because it was putting eyes on the screen. But yeah, but Tyra Banks should not be the only one that should be held accountable for America's Next Top Model. I say the whole production team, all the judges, the network executives should be held accountable too. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, please click the subscribe button below. And I'll see you guys next time on another video. Okay, bye.